Hey there, I'm Kristen. I'm going to share some divine messages with you, but before I do that, I need to say a little prayer. So if you want, stick around. If you don't, I'll see you in the next one. And we're going to call on the divine masters, keepers of the ancient wisdom. I call on you now. Thank you for revealing to me what I need to know. I am willing to listen, and so it is. So the messages I share are divine masters, our angels, our saints, our ancestors, okay? We're surrounded in divine white light. So it is, so it will be. Okay, we come back to center. All right, so I was shuffling the Divine Masters deck, okay? And I actually, I have 3 cards that are going to be like a center point for this reading. So we're gonna start with this Oracle deck, and then we're gonna break it down with some tarot and a beautiful Oracle deck called the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck. And this talks about the angel of guidance, a renewed sense of direction and purpose will soon manifest. So stick around. The card with at the bottom of the deck of here is Isis. This talks about reclaiming your magic, calling back your power, and what is rightfully yours. I'm getting like maybe some of you need to call your power back. There are incantations, prayers, intentions, decrees on how to do this. And so yeah, I feel like this is a reminder that like you're coming back to like, you know, it's like a rebirth, okay? And through this rebirth process, you've reclaimed your magic in whatever way that is. And I would say, woo-wee, Kali Ma, all right? So this talks about a divine severance, cutting cords to the dramas, the fears, and any limitations because you can't take them with you. And then we have Horus, which is a manifestation vortex. This talks about beliefs making things manifest and thoughts attract and create, okay? There's many light missions that are playing out here through various frequencies and various channels. This is usually, I mean, I would say that for some of us, it's like the blue beings, and I can explain the blue beings, but it talks about wounds being healed, okay? Important information and charging up, right? Like really maintaining your channel, okay? There is this Joan of Arc energy, so you could resonate with being a sacred activist of some kind. I feel like you're being called to like understand that there's nothing to be afraid of, okay? Nothing. And you're standing up for your beliefs and you do what's right. And so I wanted to kind of circle back. And then I have Saint Germain. Okay, so he's a pivotal support member of the Council of Light, as well as part of the Ascension team for support. And so he has this great alchemical process called the violet flame. And so this is about releasing the old and making way for the new. And so I want to get back to the blue beings because I promised we'd talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's see. Blue beings. Okay. So here it talks about there are many names for these beings, such as extraterrestrials, star people, star ancestors, sky people, and more. Whatever they're called, they are divinely inspired, involved beings, exiting in dimensions that we can't even comprehend. These dimensions and alternate realities, and so far in the future, that these bright ones see beyond anything that troubles us in this present moment. These overseers of the cosmos are like angels in the sense that they are expressions of the divine, fully connected to the heart of source. Star beings exist in multiple forms, and in this case appear as blue beings. They are here to transport you energetically to the healing sanctuaries so that you can be whole and healed. They come in peace, radiating the highest light of frequencies that can assist you on all levels of healing. They can assist you on all levels of healing. They work on a quantum level. And when their healing touches your life, the root cause of any dis-ease is illuminated and completely healed. So this message is really, if the world feels overwhelming or intense, know that hands of light are upon you now. Take a moment to retreat to a safe place to cleanse and recharge your energy. Don't feel guilty about it. You don't need to be constantly in the limelight or in the service of others. This is not a time to sacrifice your own well-being for the sake of others, especially those to serve others. Take the time to recharge, observe, and review how you feel. This is a deep healing time for you. You may be called to kind of like really stay home quite a bit. You may have been on this path for a long time and experienced miraculous and healing moments, but now you are going even deeper. This is about healing from the inside out. Okay, be open to learning new information and gaining insights about your life that will bring you to a deeper state of wholeness and connection with yourself. Cosmic beings are surrounding you now and are leading the way on this ever unfolding journey. Okay, so there's a lot of help here. Okay, that is beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I'm leaving Joan of Arc up on the bottom of the deck because, you know, mad props. All right, so we're going to pull from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses book and see what we get. Look at Angel of Space Clearing. Okay, so this talks about it's time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. Okay, and then we also have like Saint Germain, and that talked about alchemy and how to take something that is hot to cold and eventually to warm. It's about like temperance and moderation, balance, and peace. And then over here we have an angel of guidance. A renewed sense of direction and purpose will soon manifest. So all kinds of like really cool messages everywhere we're looking today. Look at angel of vision. Okay, this is the Holy Spirit. Someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say. So this is your clair abilities, right? This is your ESP. This is your inner knowing, right? That something doesn't feel right and that you need to trust what you're picking up, okay? All right, so I'm gonna put that out. That's the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's get a couple more cards. All right, very good. Goddess of Justice. Wow, powerful card to get out. What seems an injustice is actually a blessing, okay? Next, Angel of Union. All right, so this talks about like a holy union. A partnership is blessed and destined for greatness. So whatever didn't work out in the past was for your highest and greatest good. And I would say it's so that you can align with what truly is for you and is divinely inspired and protected, okay? I feel like Goddess of Justice is like, you know, something is being like balanced out. This is like cosmic balance, karmic balance, divine balance. And I feel like there's been a lot of conversation of that playing out here. Even with like the Kali Ma energy, with the angel of the space clearing, it's like time to clear old thoughts and feelings, cut cords. You know, and to like all the dramas, the fears, all the illusions, like, you know, what people prioritize as important, it's just like, nope. So there could be a bit of like, whoa, wow, what I used to care about, I no longer align with anymore. And you're like, oh, brother, now what? There's this angelic communication. I feel like this is you communicating clearly. Don't be afraid to tell it like it is. So for some of you, you're meant to like speak, stand up for yourself, advocate for others who can't advocate for themselves, be that beacon of light, be that open channel to receive divine guidance is also what I'm getting. Okay. And bottom of the deck energy after this round says Angel of Manifestation. So this talks about like all your efforts, your determination, your commitment. I feel like it's about to pay off. It's about to pay off. So we're going to get a little tarot and get some more info, okay? I'm going to clarify these cards. And what happens when I do this is I kind of get like a little story here that plays out. Okay, so this is for the channel, and, you know, don't make something fit that may not fit. So let's shuffle these. Freshly. I feel like you're having to stand up for your own beliefs. Maybe you have made a pivot, or there's some sort of challenge you're finding yourself in. It's kind of like a testament of your own like strength, commitment, devotion. Look at, I mean, come on. Okay. Joan of Arc and Joan of Arc. Seven of Wands. Yeah, this is standing up for a cause. This is like knowing what's right and standing behind it, holding the ground. Like, you very well could have like made an oath to be here, and you're like doing what you committed to do. This is like you using whatever is thrown your way to benefit you, to build from. I'm getting that. So let's see. Angel of guidance, a renewed sense of direction and purpose. High priestess. I feel like, yeah, right now it could be hidden, but I feel like you already have this knowing, this understanding, this like, you know, like there's this like almost like a spiritual quest. There's this like calling, and it's something that like you did not see for yourself exactly. I feel like, you know, it has something to do with like the star on like the forehead here, and how she's kind of like cloaked in red, and you know, she has like the almost like a veil, and then the high priestess is, you know, now in front of the veil, but oftentimes, you know, could be on either side of the veil. So I feel like there's a lot of like things being unveiled, but in divine timing. I feel like seeds are being planted and there's a plan at place. So this is like things will be revealed according to like the divine plan. Okay, there's something that you're meant to do as it relates to your purpose that's in accordance with the divine plan is what I'm getting. Okay. Okay. So it's like some of it you can see, but you may not have all the details yet. So they want you to trust the inner guidance, not so much what you see on the outside. 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups is clarifying the goddess of justice. This is what something seems like it was an injustice at the hands of maybe those who are close to you. I feel like there might have been some sort of like bullying situation playing out. I feel like justice is being served as it relates to this situations. It could be family, friends, coworkers, multiple groups that you've encountered. I feel like what was actually like an injustice is now becoming a blessing for you. Okay, so it's like balance is being restored there. Is there anything else you want to say about this? No. All right, the next one we're doing is Angel of Union. A partnership is blessed and destined for greatness. We got the Magician and the Death card. Oh, it's almost like out with the old, in with the new. That's exactly what it is. No kidding. Huge transition. This is like a divine masculine. This is like someone to actually create with. This is like co-creating. There is this like ending of a cycle around, and then something being like created elsewhere, or there's this like moving up. I don't know. Is moving up there really? No, I'm not getting like moving up, ascending. Thank you. There's this like ascension here. See the 2 of them? I feel like there's like leaving the 3D behind and ascending. And then there's this self-mastery that was attained. So, and that's why this union is blessed and destined for greatness, all right? So I feel like this could be union with oneself, with the divine, with your divine masculine and feminine energy within. So without, right, as above, so below, like all of that, okay? That's all of this right here. Angel of Union, beautiful. So this is you going through that like ascension process and graduating from it and moving on. Okay, there's some partnership here that, you know, potentially is coming to fruition here, and this will be something like you will leave the past behind. Okay, you will leave the past behind. This is you walking in faith. Okay, you're meant to share, you know, the messages that you receive, because this is clarifying the angel of communication. It's like, you know, look at this. It's like as above, so below. Like you literally could resonate with being an earth angel, or you may realize that like you've chosen your ascension path and you're feeling really connected to spirit energy. You may receive a lot of communication through a lot of the different ways, you know, there's so many ways in which to receive. So don't limit yourself, and please don't feel like you have to compare yourself to somebody else. Like, you're a unique channel for a reason. So it's like, tune into your own channel. Okay. Anyone like pointing you outside of yourself is actually doing you a disservice. So this is about like you going within and up. Okay. But this is a fresh start. This is a new beginning. This is, you know, walking by faith, right? And having a strong connection. Okay. Strong connection here. There could be like a new beginning somewhere else. And I feel like you might be someone who's kind of like unburdened so that you can be who you're meant to be and be of service in the way that you're meant to be of service, in whatever way that is. So it's kind of like if there was like burdens, trickery, bullying, like drama, chaos, like all of the conflicts. I feel like there's this freedom here that has been called on your name. Okay. And so I feel like this represents that. And you know why? It's because you're a sacred activist in some way, shape, or form. Like, what you say matters. You are intentional about what you say and do and how you act and how you move. You're not afraid, and you stand up for your beliefs, and you help others to do the same. So I feel like whatever you're speaking is making somebody maybe reflect, maybe a bit difficult for them to see clearly. They're very clouded. They're unwilling to really be in their truth. They'd rather attack or hurt others that somehow makes them feel better about themselves. I feel like this is about someone who has a lot of self-limited beliefs, a lot of insecurities, even to the extent of self-loathing. And so I'm getting like you had to defend yourself and stand your ground. And that is what you needed to do in this situation. And because you did that, like, you have a renewed sense of direction. And it was aligned with your purpose, and it's about to manifest with the Chariot. It's like coming in. It's like coming in. Okay? It's coming in. I feel like it'll be time to go soon. So go could be like, start that project. Go could be like, okay, start looking to see what jobs, you know, you might want to be interested in, or what topics you might want to learn. Maybe you're looking to get into the holistic field or the health field or the well-being field. It's like going from like a 3D to a 5D, like that kind of energy. But I feel like you've overcome whatever you needed to overcome in this situation. I feel like you've balanced your energies. You've learned like the tools necessary. And I feel like, you know, this is also like being in flow and just allowing spirit to guide you, but knowing that like you stand up for your beliefs and you trust. So this is also like an activation, like you're activated. All right. We do have the light beings here. This talks about like light transmission. And so the Chariot is also represents like the light body. Okay. And being able to travel in different realities, realms, dimensions, you name it. Like, you do a lot of spiritual work. You're called to spiritual work. Okay, this could take you in another direction. Okay, I feel like somebody also could be like associated to this group or the groups that this would represent in your life. It could be like a party group. It could be people you used to know. It could be family, coworkers, whatever. I feel like this person entertained many. I feel like there was lustful energy and action taken. And I feel like it was unjust in some way. And that might be why things are playing out the way that they're playing out there. That's why there's justice here. Okay. I feel like there's some sort of victory here too. I feel like there's this recognition. There's this support. This is like really representing the angel of union energy. So this would be a partnership is blessed and destined for greatness. And then we have the magician and the death card. So I feel like there's a transformation that's played out here. I feel like you've transformed your life from the inside out, and it's being recognized. I feel like someone else's life is a mess. Okay, so there's like this outward, there's some sort of like understanding of like, it's almost like there's this like competition that you might have been part of that you didn't really participate in, but somehow this was a game that was being played. I'm getting like whatever they tried to create some sort of obstacles, blockages, confusion, in and out energy. It's like trying to keep somebody trapped from being able to finish the race. But I feel like you went within and gained some sort of like self-mastery, and as a result of that, you have left this like vibration here and have manifested like a better outcome for yourself by choosing yourself and going after the goals, the things that you know have worked on for the greater good. I feel like this is you like persevering and overcoming what there might have been to prevent you from moving on and try to keeping you stuck. I feel like you went within and you gained quite a bit of knowledge and resources, and I feel like you like trained. Okay, this was like a bit of a training. And so, you know, the one who usually wins the awards it usually represents like putting in hard work and training and, you know, all of that. So I'm getting like you trained for this and now you're being recognized for this. Okay, so there's like this renewed purpose and direction. It's kind of like, okay, like I accomplished this, now what? We have the Fool. So let's see what now what is. Okay, what's now what? What's this? What's after the Six of Wands? Communicate clearly. Don't be afraid to tell it like it is. So it could have something like a communication project, a book, podcast, justice. Ooh, more justice. I feel you speak the truth, and depending on how people, maybe how your contracts are with people, is how Lady Justice plays out. Like that's how things get balanced. It's almost like that's some Joan of Arc energy too. It's kind of like it's like you may be spreading the word of like some sort of laws, like universal laws. You might be in disguise. I'm kind of getting like you could be a bit in disguise, like unassuming, right? I feel like this might be what they're talking about. It is. Oh, interesting. It's kind of like you appear this way. Okay, very innocent, childlike, playful, sweet, kind, you know, such a big heart, and, you know, always brings something to kind of like, you know, help things out, right? Like there's this, like trying to rise above and like move swiftly even, and just carefully. And I feel like there's this like freedom, free spirit energy is what I'm getting. But then I'm like, the Justice card. I was like, what's this Justice card about? So what I'm getting is that like you're really this. So like people can fuck around and find out, and I feel like they find out, and they find out the hard way. Okay? And you tell it like it is. All right? Like you don't sugarcoat anything, you don't hide anything, you're truthful, you're honest, you have strong integrity, and you're ethical, and you're unbiased. And so when people do wrong by you, that is a pure reflection on them, because that's not your energy, that's their energy, and that energy will return back to them. Because it's almost like you're a mirror. It'll bounce right off you. Because you're not an energetic match, and you don't feel that way about people. And you may tell people like exactly like what it is, and maybe they don't expect that from you. I feel like you're the powerhouse here with the Emperor. All right, what's going on here? Yeah, look at Five of Pentacles, okay? And then I have the Moon. What's being illuminated is that someone is experiencing some sort of hardship. I feel like there was a calculated plan. There was some sort of need to... I'm getting like they saw your light before you did. I'm getting like they needed your light to survive off of, and so they calculated a plan in which to do just that. And through that process, they were going to sacrifice, okay? Because you were their source, okay? You may have fed many, okay? Many of these energies, this Three of Cups in addition, however that manifests for you or resonates for you, I feel like this is something that they find themselves in now. They don't have access to your light, okay? They could be dealing with energy vampires at this time because they sent them to you, all right? And somehow you were able to move on from this with the Death card, okay? You somehow learned some sort of mastery, alchemy even. So you're not in this situation that they so wanted for you. They now find themselves in this situation, okay? And that is justice playing out here, okay? Because this is what they wished upon your life. For you to be abandoned by everybody around you. And they went above and beyond to spread these lies about you so that you couldn't rely on anybody and everybody believed them over you, okay? Could have been a masculine. Doesn't have to be though. I feel like there's this group. There's a group here and then there's somebody here that like is a player, okay? There's player energy. My package was delivered. All right, so I have an Empress, I have an Emperor here, so take it how it might resonate for you. I have a Wheel of Fortune as well. So whatever contract this was served its purpose. And the purpose is that you now have a renewed sense of direction. And your purpose is manifesting, okay? So your efforts, determination, and everything else that you have worked very hard for is paying off. And this is like recognizing that. I feel like what's hidden is that these people here have some, you know, they have some work to do. I feel like they're going to have to rebuild, okay? I feel like whatever they have is going to be maybe adjusted according to divine law, universal law. Okay, this is universal law playing out, so then the divine's involved, okay? So, yeah. The Fool is actually like the child of the Empress and the Emperor, okay? Because oftentimes the Empress is pregnant and this is her baby. And so the whole purpose is that like the child, right? The childlike wonder, the innocence, right? Learns along the way all the different important life lessons here on Earth, okay? So it's kind of like, you know, this beautiful story of the soul, right? Tarot is about the journey of the soul. All right, so we have a King of Cups and a Knight of Swords. Let's talk about it. So there could be someone who would like to communicate with you, but I'm getting they could be holding back from you at this time. They may be thinking and dreaming about you and maybe what the experience was with you. I'm getting this as somebody from the past. Okay? Because I have a King of Cups, Knight of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and the Lovers. So this person has been bullying you and fighting you, okay? Because you left them behind. You rejected them. You left them to their own shit, and you might have been a major source for them, okay? Remember how we saw like the Moon card and the Five of Pentacles? It was like, you know, you presented really well for this person to hide behind. There was some things that they weren't willing to reveal about themselves, and I'm feeling like there was a soul contract here. However, everybody has a free will choice as to how they handle themselves and their dynamics in love. And I feel like this energy played with you, okay? And as a result of that, there's consequences. Okay? Consequences. Okay? Their burdens are theirs to bear and for them to bear alone. This is like, I need to let it go. Okay? You are stable, secure, abundant, resourceful, respectful. You're the it. and they were jealous of it. And they tried to prevent you from moving on from them because of their own insecurity and jealousy. Okay? This helped you elevate to your higher self. You've integrated, okay? And that's a beautiful thing. Like, you have found your value, your worth, your truth, your passion, your purpose. Okay? You've found them all, collected them all, found a way to master it all with the High Priestess, okay, as well as the Magician here. Okay, sometimes the Chariot also talks about like integrating, okay, being one, okay, in balance, yin yang energy, divine feminine masculine integration. Okay, and so you're in your feminine, okay, you're in your strong feminine energy, which is beautiful. This was what was meant to be. This is you being in your destined for greatness energy. This is you being in the flow, allowing, creating, nurturing. What do we have here? We have the Three of Swords and the Seven of Cups. This is not your energy. However, this is part of your story. Part of the story here is there might have been codependency that maybe created this dynamic. This could be family, co-workers, siblings, friends, you name it. Love, could be love. But I feel like this represents like a party group or something that was done from the sense of like earthly desires and pleasures, and letting those have more control. Like, there's a lack of balance, there's a lack of priority, there's no direction here, there's just cloudiness and like almost an absence of reality, and through that has affected other people and created pain and suffering. Okay. It's created a situation where they're finding themselves in the same position maybe you were in, or maybe someone else that they're associated with is. There's this like bringing things into balance, even though something, there's this overindulgence of this. So maybe someone's trying to balance everything and is using substances to try to balance things, or maybe there's the law of opposites. So this kind of talks to me about like there could be someone who's juggling many options because they're hiding behind something. They're like not willing to like do what they need to do or see what they need to see. I feel like there's this cover up here. There's like maybe an unwillingness to look into why someone's life is like kind of all over the place. Maybe there's a lot of blame on others and not, really, there's this like escapism. It's like blaming other people, projecting things, right? And then not realizing it's coming right back to them. So it's like the law of karma is playing out. Cause and effect. This might have been someone that you had a relationship with. I feel like you've blocked them. There's this like, I feel like they're unwilling to make a decision, or they're having a hard time prioritizing things in their life. I feel like this is like, I feel like they're stuck. They're stuck. I feel like they would like to escape from a situation, but it's like they don't know how, or they can't. There's like something that maybe they want to communicate, or maybe there's something that like some decision that needs to be made and they can't. They're at an impasse. And it is whether they should move on or stay where they're at. Look at Hanged Man in reverse. Interesting. I'm getting like there's a need to listen to one's intuition and walk away from a situation. Awaken to the truth. Maybe somebody was cloaked Somebody was spell casted on so that they didn't see clearly. There was like a lot of illusions. Someone could be waking up to the illusions here. Okay, of the situation they now find themselves in. Maybe before they were very much intertwined in something that created a lot of these illusions. So this just like delusional. Maybe somebody's getting some clarity here. All right, what else about this? All right, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like there's this like the cycle's closed, so it's like time's up. I'm getting time's up. Okay, I feel like things have already been, like, judgment is being served at this time. Like there could be somebody who finds themselves, you know, needing to, you know, seek resources, ask for help, or maybe someone's wanting to ask for help. Maybe they find themselves in some sort of unsavory situations, and I'm getting like maybe they find themselves surrounded by those who they are. Things are coming to an end here, so I feel like time's up. With the Moon here, I'm getting like they have a lot of fear, and so I feel like fear's gotten the best of them. I feel like what they feared the most is happening, and I feel like what they feared the most, they wished on you, and as a result of that, they're actually going to experience it. And if they created this for you, then they will also experience it. That is balance, and that's karma. Okay? Yep. Is there anything else you want to say? Oh, okay, I guess so. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, this talks about really prioritizing, like, what's been going on in your life, where are you investing your energy. You know, there could be some projects you've got going on. This is reaping what you sow. I feel like you're intentional about what you do and how you do it. Okay, and I feel like that is what's paying off for you. All right, whatever investments you've made, you have, you know, stayed very stable, very secure, very independent. Okay, looking good, honey, in that garden, looking real good. If you like to garden, amazing. Page of Swords. You could be thinking, there's like this thought process. So are you interested? Are you looking into something? Is someone looking into you? Ooh. Interesting. You might receive a message soon. Ace of Cups. There's also this like observing. It's observing, yeah. So it's like people are watching and they're mesmerized by how you can still be who you are after everything you've been through. How can you still have love in your heart after all that you've gone through, right? And still be able to have the capacity and the generosity to share it with others. You could receive messages in which you share and channel with others. This is also what that is. And I'm getting like, that is this purpose here. That is that like cloaking. That is that veil and being able to share it as like a high priestess, which was the next card. All right, so I'm seeing these as like the same, but just in 2 different decks. You see, right? Very similar. And then this also is being like moving and sharing. It's like being blessed in order to bless others. Okay? You can hold the vibration of love. Okay? Regardless of what you've experienced at the hands of other people, you hold the vibration of love. And so you're meant to share it. Okay? And I feel like this is what you're going to be doing. And it could be something that you do on your own. Like, Queen of Pentacles is very independent. So whatever you have, you know, you've accumulated it, and it's taken time. Like, it's not something that happened overnight, I feel like there's a lot of hard work with this. There's a lot of like having to balance many things, and, you know, again, like making sure that, like, you know, it takes time for things to grow. And so whatever you've worked on, I feel like it's starting to accumulate. It's starting to really provide stability and security. So it has something, it's tied to your purpose here. Okay. All right. And then I have Temperance, Earth Angel energy. This is like divine intervention. This is like your angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors, like helping you balance your experience on earth, as above, so below. Okay, beautiful. It's like, you know, everything's great in harmony and moderation. And so that could be part of your purpose, is to help others do that for themselves. Maybe teach them how to do it, share the word, share the gospel, share the prayer, share the decree, share, whatever it is, as long as it's for the highest and greatest good. I feel like there's a lot here to learn and share, but not necessarily, maybe there's something you do that like challenges the traditions of things. Maybe when it comes to belief systems, whatever you're doing, it has something to do with the belief systems, okay? Or your own personal beliefs, all right? I feel like when it comes to these belief systems, there's been an imbalance because it's really heavily focused on one, not both. There's an absence of equal energy exchange when it comes to feminine and masculine energy, okay? And so there's a bit of needing to kind of restore balance, maybe when it comes to social systems, harmonizing peace, prioritizing peace, as well as belief systems and how it influences our day-to-day lives as we live on this planet. There's like a new way, okay? Something new is being created with the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. A creative endeavor. Okay, yeah, bam, Ace of Wands. Creative endeavor, co-creating with God, like God's assistance, like, okay, let's go back to the seeds of creation here, because this is like creation itself. I feel like there could be moving in a new direction here, away from something that no longer serves you. Excuse me. This could be like a creative spark. This could be something that provides you direction, clarity, inspiration, even something very passionate and purposeful that you are just like, oh my gosh, this is like so clicking for me. Okay, it's like that. Like a download, you know. What do we have? The Fool. All right, I feel like this is like wishes granted. All right, so woof, look at this Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, fire sign. What do we got there? What's the Queen of Wands? This is you and your sovereignty. This is in your Isis energy, right? This is King of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is you understanding that like there's compromise needed. There's even, you know, a need to balance the energy, the natural instincts of things and how those affect our inner and outer world. And having grace, right? Having grace for ourselves, because we do experience a lot of difficulty and we don't have it all figured out. So it's really a good reminder to be strong and you know, in the energy of conviction and knowing that like you win some, you lose some, but you win more than you lose, and we focus on the glimmers, right? And this is also about your confidence and having forgiveness, specifically for yourself, but also others. This is like taming the inner beast, all right? Everybody's got a beast. What's the beast? The ego. Okay, the ego. Somebody may have paid a lot of money and they could be entering in like a phase of mental anguish, nightmares, seeing things, feeling things, like incessant thoughts of things, like they're feeling a bit sacrificed themselves. I feel like somebody sacrificed themselves for the sake of money and appearances, for greed. They took action. They paid money to possibly, you know, wish ill will on you. Wishing ill will is, you know, pattern, something repetitive, something said over and over again, some sort of narrative, some sort of slander, some sort of defamation of character, some sort of gang stalking. I feel like somebody was bullied over and over again by this tyrant, okay, who's insecure, okay? And so I feel like because of their insecurities, right, like they're having to count up everything in order to see if they measure up or not. And I feel like there's this like mirrored energy here that's returning, because it's not your energy, right? That is returning. Okay, Two of Wands, moving on. Okay, you've gained what you needed to gain in the situation. There's this need to kind of like leave the past in the past. Emperor energy. Eight of Cups, moving away from things that don't light your fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. What else we got over here? A Page of Cups. Yeah. I feel like there's no love lost here for you. I feel like you left this energy a long time ago when you got wind of the shenanigans. And I feel like maybe they now find that they can't have you, now they want you kind of energy. They want what they can't have. Maybe because where they went, like everybody has them or something like that. I'm getting like, you know, there's this like drama and competition here. So, you know, there's, you know, something that, you know, this is just not your cup of tea. This is not your cup of tea. Yeah, you've moved on from this situation. You've closed this chapter and you've moved on. I feel like they find themselves surrounded in the conflict that they create. And they see that you are no longer accessible to them. Your energy, you've protected your energy, you secure your energy, and you're not reachable. They can't access your energy. They may want to try, but you've got such a force field around you. It's like, may the force be with you over here. Okay, I feel like they're not so lucky. They're dealing with conflict, chaos, drama, competition, slandering, lying, people passing gossip back and forth. I feel like there's dark energy around and being an influence on this group, okay? So whatever's going on in that group, it's not for you, all right? You rose above the situation. I feel like you've matured, you've elevated. All right, I feel like they're dealing with someone who's heavily in their addictions, okay? Queen of Cups in reverse. It could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I feel like there's been a lot of manipulation and control here. This could happen from like spell casting, lying, gossiping, starting trouble. This could be also like, you know, maybe somebody putting somebody in competition there, and there being a lot of conflict regarding a lot of this. So this could be like legal issues. They could be a group going down for this. So if there was like a bit of like organized crime here, I'm getting this is going down. You will not be affected by this. Okay, yeah, look, this organized group that has a lot of legal issues, conflicts, receipts, proof, violations, they're going down. The Devil. This group worked together, okay, and they're going down. And the Devil doesn't care. The Devil's like, great. Exactly what I wanted, okay? Let God handle this, okay? You have a new love offer coming in. Tell me about this person. This is somebody who stands up and does the right thing too. I feel like this is something that they may have, there's like this awakening process happening here. Someone else who's been through like the trials and tribulations and initiations of a spiritual awakening. I feel like you and this person have this in common. I feel like there could be a romantic offer coming your way. Let's get more info on this. Yeah, I feel like with this cup over here coming into your awareness, but maybe you don't see it directly in front of you. It's something that may come from a place that you don't expect. So be open to receive. I feel like this was the cup worth waiting for here is what I'm getting. So the others prepared you for this beautiful dynamic that you're about to have. Star energy. So remain hopeful. Okay, this is a wish and dream come true. Okay, so they're going to, I feel like you're what they prayed for. You may telepathically communicate because you're both like high vibrational beings and having the abilities to connect. So there's like this channeling energy, which is what we got in the beginning of the reading. What else? Star card. Remain hopeful. This is like being of faith. This is someone of faith. Okay? They've had their own like trials and tribulations in life. They've had to like come back from something like that. You may both have like healing abilities, and because you have healing abilities, part of your training is to go through your own personal healing journey, as well as like the experiences of like attracting those that need healing. Okay, it's like that dynamic. Yeah. Okay, cool. Six of Swords. Yeah, there may be a need to kind of like, this is very water heavy. So maybe water sign energy. So this could be a lot of like healing practices. Maybe there's a bit of like moving around to do this. So whatever that might resonate for you, this could be like moving towards safety. Not everybody needs to know everything, like keeping things to yourself and to those who really are your inner group. Okay. Moving on towards peace. Again, that's that new direction that we were picking up on. I feel like, you know, the divine protects you. Okay, God protects you. All right, you're a divine warrior here. Okay, you have all that you need to do what you came here to do. And this is part of your mission. It's like you're moving forward towards your mission. All right, so the details will come when it's time. Do not fear. Okay, you're not missing anything. You're not off top. You're not off track. You're not late. None of that. Okay, this new contract, this new oath will be coming soon, and that's going to kick things off. This new opportunity, this new creation. Okay, contract here. Okay, don't worry. I feel like things are being handled on your behalf. Okay, you can move forward. Okay, moving forward towards whatever this is, it's a blessing. This blessing is protected. Okay, this is like letting the past behind so that you can have this like fresh start, this fresh contract, this something tangible. So it could be like a job or a home or look at my makeup or yeah, I feel like it's something tangible, something that's going to be tangible. It could be like an increase. It could be like a way for something else. Like, you just never know. Like, just be open. Be open. Queen of Wands. So when I see the Queen of Wands, it reminds me of, you know, someone who's really stepping into their knowing. They're starting to have confidence. They've mastered skills. They're in their practice, whatever that is for them, and it can be whatever that is for you. They're planting seeds, so they're doing things intentional and with purpose. With the sunflower, the sunflower has so many seeds in it, and so that means this is someone who like creates and plants seeds, and you know, nourishes them and taps into their magic, right? And just kind of like collaborating with spirit, as well as like those that they find dear, like reclaiming the magic. And so that is so powerful. And I love that. I feel like this is what you're creating. Okay. I feel like you figured out some sort of like amazing way of overcoming whatever you had to overcome. And I feel like you're standing in your truth now. And I feel like whatever like project, job, thing that you create, okay, this is something that you create. It could be art, it could be music, it could be jewelry, it could be a channel, it could be a book, whatever this is. I feel like you receive channeled information and guidance, okay? Divine guidance here, truth. It's about your truth and your story, okay? And the both perspectives, so that you have like an understanding, right? So in order to have an understanding and grasp of something, once you've learned a lesson, is being able to like apply it moving forward. So I feel like you're applying what you've learned, okay? And that is beautiful. And through that process, people are observing you. You're attractive, you have charisma, you're an inspiration, you influence, you motivate, you light the flame within and so without. And that, my friend, is going to contribute to a beautiful experience, not just for you, but for many, okay? So whatever seeds you're planting are for the greater good of humanity, okay? So there could be those who, from the past, might want to catch a piece of this, but they will find themselves just reminiscing, and that's it. They chose their path, and you chose yours. And I feel like case closed. Case closed. Wow, this was fun. I've never like used these decks together before. This was a great way to share a message. Thank you for tuning in with me. Thank you for working with my team here. And I hope this was helpful. And, you know, say what's up in the comments, yo. Bye now.